Life has just too many boundaries. Let's cross them. On this episode of Ignite, we're going rogue.
Welcome back, everyone, to episode 8. And we're calling this one, like we will call many of them, we're going rogue.
Going rogue.
Okay? So what that means is we're just going to kind of riff. We're just talking. We have a few things we kind of want to, I guess, go after, a couple questions and that, but it's not necessarily a specific module. And the fans are asking for it. We just want to get to know you guys a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my dad texted me. He's like, "I hardly know you, son." No, it's not true. Not true. One of the things I want to know a little bit about what's your thought process on this program is how it's like influenced you a little bit. We all know through listening to some of my stories, the reason why I actually started this whole process, which has taken 10 years really, and it like legit, I got it really kicked in the butt when COVID was hitting. That's where I start when COVID hit us, because I'm like, what else am I going to do? And where I really started structuring it. But I had like notes and notes of paper. At some point, maybe at halftime, I'll bring out the stack of paper, what it actually took to put this program together, because it's kind of fascinating actually. But I got to a point where I was just so overwhelmed with so much stuff to do, and I became bogged down by walking in on a Monday saying, "This is what I'm going to do." Mm-hmm. Right? These 60 things. At some point, I got to get these 60 things off my to-do list. And then I got none of them done because that day had 6 more. Right? Mm-hmm. Little things. Yeah. You know, it's just, but it's the fun part. But at some point, it's like, oh my gosh, it's just ridiculous. I don't know what to do. So I just started doing research, trying to figure it out. And then I'm like, okay, that makes a little more sense. That makes a little more sense. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I have it all figured out. But it got a lot of clarity. And then I started sharing it with friends. And they're like, wow, that seems very helpful. And then they started applying it, and then the snowball kind of happened. I'm like, what else can I work on? What else can I do? And being a business owner and going to like a lot of leadership classes to try to be, how can I be the best I can be? I'm certainly nowhere near that either. Out of the 100 things that you could do to be a great leader, I'm doing 6 of them really well. 2 more halfway okay, and then 1 I intentionally destroy, and then the rest of them I can't even remember what they are, right? Which means I got a lot of work to do, but. Yeah. Through that, I'm like, well, how can I structure something that would be something easy for me to remember? So that's why I put leadership in there, and then discipline, and how to set proper goals, because there's 10,000 different ways to set goals. We talked about that before. So I just want to start sharing, the going rogue, so to speak. So just start talking to us. So Jack, you want to kind of open up with a little bit of something. How has this program influenced you, or just start talking?
I mean, the program has definitely helped with setting myself up for the future is a big one, because usually I would just kind of wing it, just go with the flow. But I've learned you kind of got to set some things in stone to keep you on path with what you want to get done. But one of the biggest challenges that I've come across, I'm starting on my second business, which is, it's not easy, obviously. It's hard to keep everything on track. Like I say, like, I want to get this done. I need to get this done. But then it's all of a sudden, now I got to get my room cleaned. So gotta get the dishes done, and then you just get sidetracked with all the little things, and it's hard to keep organized with everything else you got going on.
Which kind of brings me a little bit back to the critical crucials, like what are all the things that you have to do,
right. And
what are some of the things that you can start farming out, because you're right. That's why people start having maid services or taking care of their lawn, because they just don't have the time anymore.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it must be nice to be rich. Or whatever, that might just throw money at your lawn and throw money at house cleaning. You can't even do it yourself. No, they just have too many things going on. It's just impossible. And it's easier to spend $40 or $100, whatever it might be, because like we shared before, during that time you could make an additional $250. It just becomes worth it to start delegating things like that out. Yeah. And you're still, you're barely into college already, right? So, and you're already semi-overwhelmed,
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to get out of school. Because
I cannot wait either.
Yeah, I know, and I think Chris wants to hit on that a little bit. Like, as soon as you got yourself freed from the shackles of school, so to speak. I hate to say it that way, but
it's half my day just gone.
Right, and now your beautiful wife is going to be having the same thing coming up in 5 weeks. We were just talking about that off camera, and you are released. Go.
Yes.
Right. So share.
When I started this program, I was deciding to go back to college to finish my degree, and I have now since done that, and it's definitely freeing. It's definitely, obviously, a part of my time that is now open, weekends and nights, and as you kind of asked that question at the beginning of how has this program helped me or changed me. It's gotten me a lot more organized. Got me more focused especially with goals and values. Kind of understanding why I care about certain things, why I do what I do, and then also what I need to accomplish. What do I need to do?
Mm-hmm.
For a long time, my focused goal, the one that I really was on, was school. And that was I need to get this done, I need to push through, and everything else kind of comes second to that. Technically, kind of. Generally.
Yeah.
Obviously, I have some more, obviously, other needs that come before. But that was my focus goal. And so since then, I have set a few goals for myself, which I'm happy about that I'm accomplishing them. I've started taking piano lessons, and I've been reading more books. It's one of my goals, a couple of my goals, and so just kind of being more involved in my life, pursuing things that I kind of enjoy, and so I'm glad I went to school. That was a necessary evil for me, just with the kind of work I want to do. And it wasn't evil. It was hard, but it wasn't evil. It was good. It was good to go to school. But it's good to go to school and know that I was going to use it. It's good to go to school and know that this is why I was there.
Mm-hmm.
And this program kind of helped with that. It helped me kind of shape and go, okay, you know what? I need to focus on these things and be really on top of them because this is what I want to do.
Right.
Because I have some goals and I have some dreams and I'm seeing them kind of start to come to fruition, and that's an exciting feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very exciting feeling to accomplish something and then set something else up and go, all right, I want to accomplish that
Next.
and just kind of keep moving and keep moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought of another thing and I was like, I'd love to be able to do this. And today I was thinking about that and I was like, I can, and I think that's what this program has done for me is it's just empowered me.
Mm-hmm.
It's helped me kind of say like, I can do stuff that I put my mind to.
Mm-hmm.
And why not lean into something I'm gifted at? And why not lean into something that I love doing or enjoy doing? Even if it doesn't look outwardly successful, there is value in doing something because you love it and you're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
So this program has just helped me just kind of focus, sharpen some of those things.
Yep.
Kind of clarify, like if you put glasses on, you're like, oh, I can see that more clearly.
Mm-hmm.
I can read that. I can understand that. I'm very, very happy with this, and it's cool to now see you guys kind of going through it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's something that I keep going through.
Mm-hmm.
I can keep going back and like, all right, what do I really value, or what do I? So right now I'm kind of rambling on, so stop. But we're going rogue anyway.
Right,
So-
yeah, we're going rogue. And I'm writing a bunch
we
of
can
things
cut all
down. We'll
this
come
out.
back.
Yeah, well,
Keep going.
So I'm coaching basketball right now. I keep kind of thinking, I'm like, okay, what is this school? What is this team? What do we value? What are our goals?
What are they?
What are we? Who are we? That's something I keep thinking about. Are we pushing our values? Are we pushing our goals? And it keeps coming up everywhere. I'm like, okay, I'm coaching, and then my job. I'm like, okay, like even when my students come into the class for the first, on Monday, they're walking in, and I'm like, all right, what is my goal today, and what do I need to value? Like, what do I need to really focus on for them right now, and even in like little moments? Do I value the lesson and getting them, make sure they're taught and they know everything? Or am I valuing all these soft skills that they're learning of
Right.
how to get along with people or how to listen to instructions and get in line? Like, what am I focusing on each day?
Mm-hmm.
And this is just talking about it has just opened my eyes to that. Opened my eyes to like, okay, I can be really intentional with my time
Mhm.
because it's so easy to waste time. And what's really helpful is just knowing that, and it's okay to take your time to make sure things are done right, and not just kind of rush through everything
Mhm.
and just to get it done. Just say, oh, it's done. If you really love something, if you really care about something, I really would encourage you to slow down, make things right. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does.
A lot.
So let me interject.
Yes,
you
please.
said a lot. This is awesome stuff.
Chop it up.
Wow. How far back do I go?
Keep going all
Right.
the way.
Okay. Answer it somewhat quickly. Like, you had a certain amount of time per week that went to college,
Yeah.
right? what now that you don't have to do that anymore? I got a couple things that are going to piggyback on that. What did you start filling that in with? Right? If you were spending 30 hours a week at college, I don't know. You give me the number, it doesn't matter. Gone. So now what's in there? What did you replace that with?
The big one is picking up more hours at one of my jobs. So I went from 12 to 30.
Okay.
So that took a lot of the hours.
Sure.
It's one of the other things is just being more. One of my goals, not a written goal, but a thing in my mind is to be more present at home. Just to be around more, especially with my wife finishing school, to just be there to just help out with whatever's needed, making dinner, cleaning up, whatever, laundry, just being more present, and intentional with time with her. So that's taken up more of my time.
And then
just
piano
at
and
nights
reading.
stuff. And then reading,
Yeah.
reading, piano. Right now I'm also selling my Legos. So
Okay.
some of my time has been put to that. I have to make sure I have all the sets and I'm rebuilding them, making sure I have everything and then selling them. So
Okay.
I'm Bricklink, see Jack Metzger if you're interested. Got some sets coming up.
I have
pretty
so many
soon.
Legos.
What kind of stuff?
I'll buy them from you and I'll sell them.
You're
Seriously.
doing like a lot of
We should
Harry
talk.
Potter.
Okay.
Brady, what was your question?
Yeah, what kind of stuff you got?
Harry Potter
Oh.
Legos.
Yeah.
Mostly Harry Potter.
No thanks.
I do have some Star
What are you
Wars
into?
stuff, but I'm not going to sell it.
I'm into the Star Wars and
Oh, Star Wars,
Marvel
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
I like the
Yeah.
car ones.
Yeah.
Cars are cool.
Car,
Yeah, those are
is that
pretty cool.
like Barbie? What does
champions.
that mean? What do you mean car ones?
Like the different
Like a McLaren? You wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah, I
It's a
wouldn't
car.
know. I wouldn't know. Yeah, you took off your McLaren sweatshirt. Why? I mean, you earned that. You earned that
I mean, I
thing.
was a little warm,
Okay.
and I said this is more
Okay.
professional.
Okay. I got no problem with that. Okay, so Jack and Brady. I'm going to ask Jack first, but Brady, I want you to think about your answer.
Yeah.
What would you do, like, if you could just walk away from school, right?
I wish I could.
I know, right? All right, yeah. I think you're too young to probably get thrown in jail still, right? Or no, maybe. But if you could, what's the first thing you would do on Monday, man?
Well, that's since it takes up so much time. I don't have time. Like I've got a busy schedule. Got to get to the gym, and I work really hard at the gym. That's one of my main things is working out and like my nutrition, all that. So a lot of my time in the day goes to working out, cooking food, But one of the biggest things that I would do, probably get myself on a better sleep schedule because it's not looking good right now. It's literally 7 hours of my day out the door.
Have you heard, since we're rambling, there's this guy.
Rogan. We're calling it Rogan.
Rogan, yes. Joe Rogan? No, sorry. There's this guy who talks about, and I don't know if it was real or fake, but I saw his video, and he's like, I pretty much split my day into like 3 days. He's like, I wake up, I work for, 6 hours or whatever, and then I sleep for like 3. Then he wakes up and he does it again and he splits it up. And he'll sleep, he'll take just long naps a couple times a day. And he splits up his day and he's like, I'm so much more productive. I work all around the clock because it's 24 hours and I'm not sleeping for 8. I'm sleeping for, 3 here, 2 here, whatever it is. And it's just like, I don't know if you've seen that. I'm like, it's a little ridiculous, but I'm also like, is he more productive?
Right. Does that actually work?
Owl sleep schedule or
I think that would mess me up even more because that's like
he's probably a psychopath.
Yeah, because you can't you need to sleep for a certain amount of
You
time
need
to
to
get
sleep.
into that REM cycle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's tough.
He's just operating in the.
Interesting. Brady, what would you do if you all of a sudden had all that? You got rid of school.
Yeah,
I am
wish could do
strongly
that.
encouraging you guys to just drop out of school. We got too much to do, man.
Too much to do.
I know I'm not going to college, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
just need
not
to get my
going to college
diploma.
at all.
I need
Okay.
to get my
Yeah.
diploma.
Okay.
It's a bigger waste of time.
Brady, what about you? What would you do if you all of a sudden didn't have to go to school on Monday?
That'd be great. I would definitely start looking for jobs and just finding ways to make money. And I would definitely call the band and practice our songs and start writing and just making music.
Yeah,
Get
absolutely.
some gigs.
Yeah. Start getting gigs.
Start getting gigs.
All right, so I got a lot to go back to what you were saying, but I kind of want
Sure.
them to share just a little bit.
Yeah,
But
continue.
okay, so when you said slow down to make sure things are done right, okay, give me the shortest answer you can. It is a trick question. What does slowing down mean, and what is your definition of right? Okay, yes,
Yeah.
that sounds great.
Uh-huh.
What does that mean?
Yeah. I think specifically is for your goals. Like, if you really want something, like, be specific and get it done. Get it done, do it well. I think that kind of goes into your definition of success as well. You know, when is it done? If you're an artist and you're doing just a masterpiece, when is it done? At what point do you go, okay, I'm done? I'm not an artist, so I don't really, I don't know that. But if you're sitting back, if you're writing a song, you're like, it needs a little more of this, it needs a little more of that, and you sit back, but get it to what your ideal is.
Mhm.
Like, if you have that dream, that vision, don't just drop it when you're,
Yeah.
you're getting there, it's getting warm, and you're like, this is fine. Wait till it gets hot, Then it's like, it's worth the time, to do it right.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that. Okay, something else you said, but I want Brady to kind of talk about it a little bit. Brady off the camera is very talkative. On camera, you're more professional. So I'm going to try to loosen you up a little bit. All right. So Chris was saying something. He's had time now to lean into something that he's gifted at. And what I think that might mean is, sometimes, especially musical people with youth, are thinking maybe this is something I can do. Being in a band, maybe it's kind of like that would be kind of neat, as opposed to going through this program, starting to write it all out. To it goes from maybe to I will do this, right? So how has this program kind of influenced you to move you along your dream of having a band?
It's definitely pulled me out of the clouds of laziness and has gotten me to be more enthusiastic, and it's gotten me to write music and just be happy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a song right there, Out of the Clouds.
Oh yeah.
Out of the clouds of laziness. Dun dun dun. Right, that would be exactly like that. Would it be sad or happy? Be struggle? Would it have struggle music?
Little bit of
violin,
struggle.
little
It
lightning,
starts with a
Yeah.
little
lightning.
thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Thunder.
I think we just formed a band.
Well,
Yeah. What should we call ourselves?
Rogue.
Rogue.
Cumulonimbus.
yeah, I second that though.
Yes, go on.
Like, I remember we were referencing this a little while ago about eating the candy. It's time to not just get off your phone. Don't do the little unnecessary things. Always have something to do, which it has. It's a people don't think about it too much. People don't take their life as seriously as they should. Meander. I keep going back to like previous stuff, but anyway.
Oh, we like that.
Use
Reason
those
why we
words.
keep saying it.
It's
Yeah.
coming up. I thought you guys were jokingly going to say that you just played the OG Fortnite map.
Oh,
when it
no.
gets back.
I was gonna say all people
You
are
were
worried
like,
about.
all right, I'm out of school,
Right.
so we're going to play Fortnite.
Like that's genuinely what people do though. Like say,
No, yeah,
Oh,
I spent so much money on that game.
I don't want
It's
to.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most time I played, well, that's not true actually. I was gonna say the most time I played video games was the 2 years I wasn't in school.
For me, it was COVID.
But yeah, it happened to be around COVID as
Yeah.
well. So that's and that probably wasn't true because I was homeschooled. So let's be honest. Anyway, no, it was that's cool though. You guys have ambition.
Yeah.
Take advantage of it.
Yep.
Use it.
Be lazy.
Yeah, and it's important to that like discipline is more powerful than motivation.
Yes.
Motivation's helpful. It gets us. Oh yeah, this is great. How fun.
Dude,
Oh yeah. let's keep
motivation's
talking
on and
about it."
off.
Yes,
it's on and
but
off.
discipline is doing it every day.
Yep.
Wake up and do the part that you don't like because you have to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you
I
got to
just-
go to the gym, and the worst part about the gym is the drive
Yep.
there, or the right when your alarm gets off, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Once you get there, you're fine. Then your day's started. You're going.
Mhm.
You're doing your workout.
Or you were talking about like college versus having a business, the overwhelmingness side of that. But how I think about college is you kind of go there and the teachers tell you what to do. This is the thing. This is what you got to do. So it's hard, you got, but you have the structured things of this is what you do. Versus a business, you got no one telling you what to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
How much harder that is without structure that you now have to create,
Yeah.
right? I find that fascinating because that can be overwhelming. Like, and I said you just mentioned you got pulled out of the laziness of the cloud. What do we call it?
The cloud
Pulled out
of-
the cloud
The
of
clouds of
laziness.
laziness.
Laziness, right? But no one's telling you like what to do. Like you're kind of
Yeah.
in charge of the band. You're like the leader of the band. So you send out the text. Hey,
Yeah.
we're doing this on Tuesday.
Don't want to
whatever
be
it might
selfish about it, but yeah,
Yeah.
control it. Yeah.
Right, because someone has to.
You're the one
Who
controlling
else?
the podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what we're doing. I send out texts and like, are we getting together?
Yeah.
And if we get enough of us, we do it. We make it happen. And if we don't, then we just kind of postpone it. We got, this is episode 8, so it's taken us probably 12 weeks to get 8 episodes, I'm guessing, because we have things going on.
Like that.
It's all right. At some point, we'll get caught up and it'll be fine. And then then our fans are going to demand it. And all of a sudden, it's,
Yeah.
now it's a job, But that's okay. And I mean that in a good way, I guess.
Yeah.
But so what, the difference between schooling, being told what to do, and getting off your butt to actually do this, have you found that to be difficult? Do you wish you could do it more? Do you wish you were more plugged into creating your band? Talk to me.
Yeah, I feel like school has just wasted my time with what I actually want to do with my life.
Mission accomplished and scene. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just waking up at 6 a.m. and going somewhere for like 7 hours, and just going home and having to do work. It's just pointless, and I'm never gonna use it when I get older. And this program definitely inspired me. Writing, yeah, like I said, it pulled me out of the clouds of laziness and got me to actually like care about my future and what's coming for me, and got me to actually like start writing music. And yeah.
I'm proud of you, dude. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I wonder how much, where would we be? I don't know. We'd be someplace different. I don't know. Without this program, without encouraging each other, right? Without the camaraderie and the mastermind design of this, kind of bouncing ideas and, just the massive amounts of encouragement that this brings in. Our cameraman, Micah, was mentioning, he was like, I can't take a week off of this. I need I can't forget what you were calling it. Like, you need the motivation or
The motivation.
yeah.
The consistency.
The consistency of it, right? We talk about how important motivation is. Hey, if we're getting together, you could go there and, get the same kind of thing. I don't know, if you're learning basketball and there's a bunch of dudes that are pretty good at it, you might, I want to be
Hang
part
out.
of that. Right?
You gotta do it every day.
You got to do it every day,
Yeah,
right?
you do
Working
it.
on these skills, yeah. And you talked about setting up goals, even for the young guys.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to be so bold as to talk to the head coach or anyone that is like part of this, coaching or whatever it might be. There's so many different sports, boys and girls
Sure.
sports and stuff like this.
Yeah.
To talk with the head coach, like, what are we doing here? Obviously, the championship. That's hard to focus in on.
Yeah.
That's the mild goal, I guess.
Yeah.
We're not playing to lose. But what's the goal this week? Is it kindness? Is it showing discipline? Is it the hard work? We want you tired at the end of the practice.
Yeah.
We want to develop the skills. I mean, what is it? Otherwise, we're just kind of just the drills. Okay, get them breathing hard and figure it out from there. I don't know. I mean, you should have something that so then we know. Hey, we improved.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Let's see what our maximum push-ups are, and maybe at the end of the year we double it.
Yeah.
That's a place to start. What's your time for running 8 laps? Maybe we can get that better. So, physical fitness improvement, things like that. Understanding of the plays. Hey, we can run 8 plays flawlessly as opposed to 2, right? I don't know. But otherwise, you meander. We're just kind of here,
Yeah.
a little bit.
And you gotta have you have to have some benchmarks, like you're saying. You have to have something to say. This is where we are, and this is where we want to go. To set that up so that you can see your progress. That's very important to see your progress and see where you're going, where you've been. It's motivating, and it's something to go. All right, let's keep going. It's working.
All right, so I'm going to be vulnerable right now.
Oh no.
Right, but it's called Goin Rogue for a reason. We briefly talked about it when we first got started with this podcast. What's our reason? What's our values behind this?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of values would be, to help people have self-discovery and direction. I mean, it's easy for me to look at this, help them grow. Maybe they can have an impact and, they can have some sort of success. But ultimately, we're being vulnerable in this right now, really. Why are we doing this? Other than it's fun. I know you shared that.
Yeah.
I actually like doing this. It's kind of
fun.
fun. Yeah. It feels like we're doing something.
Yeah.
But what's that something? Is that even defined?
Yeah.
Chris, what are your thoughts?
I think I'm doing this because there's people like me that I know need it. And I've met a bunch of people through this program that need it. And there's truth in this program, and there's excitement of the self-discovery. And so I guess this podcast is just an expression of that. And it's an opportunity for other people to get involved with what we're doing. And other people to get excited, and other people to say, hey, that's me. I'd like to figure that out. I'd like to get some help. So that's why I'm here. That's my kind of why and purpose for being here, because it's impacted my life, and I want it to impact other people's lives.
Jack.
I personally, like I come here because I know that I'm gonna gain something each time we meet up. There's a lot of lessons to be learned, and we bounce these across each other, but then we're also able to put it out and let other people learn from us too, which people need it. You know, I needed it, and you know, kind of reiterating what you said. You know, there's people like me, people like us that are stuck and they don't know where they're going, and they need that kind of guidance. You know, say, what do you want to do? Okay, now do it. You know, you don't want to like stop yourself from doing what you want to do because like, oh, my mom says I want to go to college, so I'm going to go to college. You know, do what you want to do. And people need to learn that, and that's why I want to show people how to do that.
That's fantastic. Put that all on a business card. Small font. Brady.
It put me in a better mindset.
Uh-huh.
And like before I joined the podcast, like I was just like lost in my own thoughts, and I wasn't really happy with my life because I didn't think a lot would come out of it. But when I joined Ignite, it really made me think that, or got me to believe that my life is worth living, not because of my future and what's ahead of me, but for others, because I think I can impact other people's lives.
Wow.
Commercial.
Right. Commercial. There we go. Ignite made me believe my life is worth living.
Yeah.
That is okay. And scene. I'd like to bring in Micah at some point because I want him to kind of share it, a little bit as well. So, for those who want to know a little bit about behind the scenes, Reggie is typically our sound guy, but Brady kind of did the sound today, which is great. So even through this podcast, I think there's like some learning aspects of running a business, like a podcast business. This is what it looks like. You know, there's a lot of equipment. There's an investment here. Yep. There's hooking things up. We do probably 20 minutes worth of testing, make sure all the microphones sound well. And none of us are certified in this. None of us went to school, so we're just kind of doing it, right?
Yeah.
And Micah wants to take some time to learn how to do the camera work, but I also want him on this. I don't want him to just do that part, right? So that's why I want him on here, which means now Brady's going to step over and also do the camera work. So you'll see us struggling a little bit with focuses and movements and things like that. Okay, it's live. This is what we're doing. There's no take two. Could you say that again? And we try not to do any of that. And if there's a few bobbles and the camera goes a little bit in and out of focus, okay, it's because we don't have two camera guys. Our
we don't
budget
have
is
Joe
still
Rogan
small.
production.
Right, exactly. Yeah, we don't have the Jamie in the back doing all the things.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
3 camera shoots and all that, and someone's editing and putting that all together. You know, I don't think Joe is doing it. You know,
He uploads like every single day.
yeah, something
Crazy.
awesome. Right,
3-hour episodes every day.
right. Yeah, someone's producing
Crazy.
it. Somebody is doing that. Because I know how long it takes to do this stuff. So we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and bring in Micah. Sound like a deal?
Awesome.
Perfect. Welcome back, everyone. So, Micah, thank you for joining us on the board here. Some of the questions we were talking about as you were filming was, how has this program influenced your life?
Ever since I started it, I've just been more able to like recognize things that would benefit me, because I know we talk about like recognizing opportunities that are like investments for later in life when we, because not everything we might take as something that we can use later, but I've gotten way better at understanding things that are important for like my success in the future. Like getting to know the editing I think that's like a huge gateway to some things that I've never even thought about before, like maybe even a career or something along those lines. But so being able to, identify that, I have all these resources here that I can use to get to know it and learn it.
Skills.
Exactly. I just think that being able to identify that that's something that I can use later in life is something that has really impacted me when I joined the program. So I'm really grateful for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, this is legit.
Yeah.
That soundboard's legit. These cameras are legit. The editing program is legit. And people will pay for these skill sets. Absolutely.
Yep.
And what did it have to take? Just use volunteering, and then I taught you a handful of things, and now you're gonna you'll take that skill set and then now let's grow it. How can we add something else in it? How can we make something animated? How can we do this? And now you just start exploring all these other programs.
Yeah.
And again, people will pay for it. I mean, you can watch a YouTube video on how to rebuild a transmission. I'd rather pay the guy, right, than learn all that. You can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like video editing and production and all the sound and making sure everything. There's a lot of things, and you have to be the talent, meaning the person that they're filming. You can't do it all. You absolutely can't do it all. So we need people that are good. So I'm glad you mentioned that there's skill sets learned through this program.
Yeah, for sure.
Ultimately, right?
And
Chris?
I love how like you tried something new. You're like, oh, let me try that. I don't know if I like it. Maybe I will. And it's that kind of attitude that's really important. Because you might fall into something that you love. And there's so much stuff out there. There's so many jobs. There's so many different kinds of jobs. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in, all right, business. And maybe there's some stuff in business of like, okay, finance or marketing or accounting or whatever, But, or like, I have to be a doctor, or I have to be a lawyer, or I have to be a teacher. And there's, some options, but there's so much out there. There's people who get paid to edit videos, and they love doing that. There's people who get paid to film.
If you know how to market it too, that's a whole six-figure company.
You create. There's so much opportunity. So try things. Go figure something out and fail. Mess up at it, right? And I think, especially you guys who are still in school, like since you're there, and you're not getting out, right? Not alive, at least. You're like, just take advantage of the trying of things. Take the pressure off, Okay, this isn't where I'm going to be forever. Let me try some things. If it's wood shop, if it's getting involved in some kind of tech and production, or I don't know, whatever these like photography classes or things, they're there. And if you have electives and you want to film them, try them out. I love when in my classes we played a new game. And everyone's kind of starts off, and they're like, this game's kind of stupid, kind of boring, whatever. And then we end up, like, playing it, and we love it. They end up loving it. We an example of this is we're in, like, an ultimate Frisbee unit. And most kids don't like it because they're not good at throwing a Frisbee. So, but if you take the time to learn the skill, all of a sudden they're like, oh, this is really fun. Actually, I'm getting better at this. Oh, I can kind of see where I should throw it and when I should throw it. And my high school class, we tried playing it earlier in the year. Terrible. Blew up. I was like, this is terrible. They were like, this is so stupid. I don't ever play. And then Monday, I'm like, we're going to try it again. We're going to do this. We're going to try it again. And they were like, this was really fun. And Tuesday, they're like, we're running it back. And then Wednesday, we started a tournament. And Wednesday, Thursday, we did group play. And today, we had a tournament. It was awesome. We had a bracket and everything. And it was just so fun. But it was because we took the time to kind of learn it and get into it and be like, okay, let me try this. Let me actually give this a go. So that's cool that you're like, let me try filming.
Yeah.
Let me try recording. Let me doing sound. Let me sit in a podcast. That's what this was. Let's try it.
Right.
Yeah.
And here we go. And we're having fun. It's cool.
Yeah. I think like the most efficient way to get to those new opportunities is through community. Obviously, like I wouldn't have been able to get into editing if I didn't join this, community. So I think that's also why one of the biggest reasons I'm here is because I just love the community that we have. The relationship that we have with each other, I think, is so strong, and we create so many ideas, and we work so good together. And so that's one of the main reasons I'm here as well, is just the community, being able to come together, every week and collaborate and brainstorm. And I think that's also why podcasts are so strong, is that it builds a community. And that's why I think it's so good what we're doing here, is because we're building a community for us, but also building a community for others, like for our viewers. So like I encourage people to join the community because I know what it's done for me, and I know what it can do for other people. So
yeah,
and that brings me to something that I always believe in. Like you say, like I bet you didn't like think I might want to do editing. Now let me like watch a couple videos and like read some stuff. But you kind of just said, I'm just gonna get at it.
I just kind of hopped right in.
Send yourself in, which I think like there's no amount of research, not amount of YouTube videos that can really like account to just going for it and doing it.
Amen on that one,
Yeah.
brother. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So two things I thought about. Most of us are into sports, like we're certainly physical, and
Most people are physical, Steve.
yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, as opposed to a mist.
Yeah.
But yeah, I value my time, and this is I put this is very important to me.
Yeah.
Like right now in real time, the Tyson fight is happening, and who's he fighting? Logan.
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. Okay.
Logan's his brother.
Okay. So
So
he's
you're
fighting.
on the right track.
Right. So he's fighting Jake Paul, but I'd rather be here. And as soon as we're done, we'll probably pop it on. But I mean, there's millions possibly people just kind of sitting around and eating stuff they probably shouldn't be eating. And literally doing, like, are they pushing their dreams or just being entertained? Entertain the masses, and you can do all kinds of things. Oh yeah. But so I'm just glad we're here. I think this, this will come out way after the fight, but it's literally happening right now. We wanted to turn off the TV so we're not all kind of paying attention to it. But I mean, all the dancers came out. It's probably gonna be another hour before the fight happens, and it'll be over in 3 minutes. So, and several of us think differently who the winner is. So we'll eventually figure it out.
Someone's winning money.
Someone's, yeah, exactly. But Jack, I want to kind of go back to your point of, we're trying to get the website built ultimately, and I think right at the beginning of December is when we're going to do another class. I got 10 people in mind for wanting to sign up. Some people life just doesn't work out because this is hard. We're talking about like real life stuff in this program, and you got to make a commitment. It's not, we don't just talk about it for 3 hours and then we're done. This is like a serious commitment. 10 weeks, 2 hours minimum each, just to kind of go through the program. And then you're like, okay, now what? Go through it again, because you still don't know anything. It's a life process through this whole thing. And so at some point, you kind of volunteered tonight. I'm ready to start building websites. Okay, great. Right?
I need more experience too.
Right, you need more experience. So he's gonna take on the website at some point. Hopefully by this time it's out. By the time you see this particular episode, the website's
Link
up
in
and
the
running.
description.
Right, exactly. And that'll be Jack's work, because we just want to get it moving.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people. I've gotten some really positive feedback from the podcast, and there's only 2 episodes actually live as we speak. We have 7 of them shot. This is number 8. Yeah, 7 of them shot, and 2 of them are live. And people are already asking, I want to be part of this. How can I help? Whatever that might be.
Yeah.
So we're going to make it obviously available for you to kind of start signing up. We're going to have different price points because it's an investment. You're going to invest in something. You might as well invest in yourself. And what if we can change your life for $100?
Right.
What if we can change your life for $900? Whatever. I mean, there's different levels of this. And if you want one-on-one time with some of us in here to actually go through the program with you, okay, we can change your life. $5,000. $6,500. I don't know. $10,000. What's it worth to you? You're going to give your money somewhere. It's either going to be in potato chips and Netflix, or, right? That's just a slow trickle. They don't charge you $10,000 for your life.
Yeah.
Again, community.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity for you to get better at it, and we'll ultimately give the stamp of approval at the end. But takeaways, Chris, what do you think?
Wow.
Go Rogue. Come on now.
Oof.
Should I come back to you?
No, I'm ready.
Okay.
Brady had mentioned how I forgot how he phrased it, but this program gave him reason for living, I think, something like that.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. I'll quote
no,
it.
it is
Ignite made me believe life is worth living.
Yeah. And I think when you kind of figure out who you are, how you're made, why you're here, some big things start to change in your self-confidence and your self-worth. And they have for me. So I encourage people to press into that and put some work into figuring that out. I mean, this program's how it helped me tremendously. And just to have a little bit of, all right, cool, I am on the right track. I know what I'm doing. And I've got a good head on my shoulders. It gave me some confidence. So let it give you some confidence. That's my takeaway.
Fantastic. Jack?
Today's really kind of refreshed me. I think I missed the last group, but it's refreshed me on our past things that we've learned together. But one of my main things that I've taken away is kind of what you got to do, and there's things that will kind of step in the way, like the little things. There's gonna be those little things, but you gotta set up what you really like. What is the real goal? Like what can you do to get you that next step? A little bit of an example is that when I started running the ads for companies and doing different like websites and stuff, you can spend your all day writing out scripts or recording videos, but what's really the important thing is getting on the call with the client, closing the deal, actually getting that next step. So just like go for the things. You know, there's nothing holding you back.
For most people, it's you holding you back,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
Almost all of these situations are mental. It's all on you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Micah, thoughts?
Yeah, I think just coming back to community,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a lot of people might be in a community where they don't have people surrounding them that want to go as far as they want to in life. I think a lot of people have so much skill. There's so many people with talents that they don't even know about yet, and the reason they haven't took advantage of that is because the community they're around. Like so many people are impoverished or in their family life who they're pushing them to go to college or they're pushing them in one direction to get a job to be a doctor, but they might be 10 times better at something else they don't even know yet. So I think it's really about discovering new communities and just taking that leap, like you said.
I wanted to bounce back from what Mike has said about like people don't really go with what they really want to do because like they're being pushed in a certain direction by mentors, I guess you could say. But like I do believe that people don't do what they really want to do because they haven't found what they want to do. Like you never miss a lucky day if you look for something every day. So if you're constantly searching for what you want to do instead of just doing what the path that's been set for you, then you're not going to learn what you really want to do and what really drives you.
Mm-hmm. And that's how the school system failed me,
Yep.
right? You got the math teacher saying, you should do
Entrepreneur
math.
blood.
Why? I'm not good at math. You're good at math. Don't tell me what I should
Entrepreneur
do.
blood.
I have entrepreneur
blood.
blood.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you think that's a good place to end?
I like
What-
that.
What did you take away?
Oh, what I take away? Just a lot of hope from you guys, that this program is actually working. I needed it. That's why I developed it.
Yeah.
And I started sharing it. It's not like we just started with the podcast. I mean, I've been
Right.
developing it and working it for many, many years now. And every time I just feel a little bit more inspired by it. Like, why would I keep it quiet? And the biggest thing is I still need it. I need this community
Yeah.
because my motivation and discipline starts to die off a little bit when I'm not doing the thing. But with a certain level of success, or a lot of people like have like a cushy job or a job that's doing well for them, and then you become complacent, like you're not fighting for anything anymore. And that's a terrible place to be. You become what's the word? I don't know. Comfortable. That's
Yeah,
the word.
I was just-
Yeah,
comfortable.
comfortable.
Right. And I got nothing else to fight for.
Yep.
And that's why Tyson's going to win tonight
Yeah.
and get that title back.
Even though he's like
He's
60 years
fight.
old.
Is it even a title fight? I doubt it.
I
Yeah.
don't, nah.
It goes on the
I don't think
record.
so.
But
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
it's crazy to think that this whole podcast was just like a. We were in our class or whatever you want to call it. We were like, what if we started a podcast?
idea.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Top shelf.
Yep.
That was the
Top
original.
Yeah, that was the original name, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
You want to share that? Rick, close us up with why we were going to call it Top Shelf.
Yeah, I think because the top shelf is something to reach for. Like we haven't made it yet, but like it's
Something
a
else.
goal. Yeah, it's a goal to reach. Like once you get to the top shelf, you're the top of the top. And you're constantly trying to reach for that, and I think that's why we're gonna name it that, because that we're building the steps to get to that top.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I think we had another reason for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Who wants to share the well,
real.
you're right.
Keeps his,
Although what you said is truthful,
Yeah.
there's a second part to it. So who wants to share that? Micah,
was-
you want to, Jack?
Go ahead.
It was because of we have a fridge over here that we usually got like the sodas or the waters, but all the way at the top there's the booze shelf. So we said once you guys graduate Ignite, we'll be able to go to the top shelf.
Grandpa's cough medicine.
We also have to be 21
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
and graduating night.
Yeah.
Right. How I remember it was, you guys can help yourself to anything in the fridge except the
Except
top
the top.
shelf.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to be
So you're not
21 to
there
get there.
yet.
Right, exactly.
But it's a great way to say it. Like we're not there yet. We'll keep.
Mhm.
Right.
I don't know. Just like keep going.
Exactly.
Always reach for the top shelf.
Right.
Yep.
There's another shelf above
it's
it.
there.
Right.
Just keep going.
An ever expanding horizon, as my friend Jordan Peterson says. Right? You get your
Yeah.
goal, and then you get to that mountaintop. You're like, made it, and you're like, wait, now I can see a little bit further. What about that mountain? And you keep on moving. It's
go.
ever expanding because you grow, and you're like, hey, I want to do the next one. I want to do the next one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
T-shirt.
And with that, we are done.
Hey, thank you for watching. Hope you really learned something from this video. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell. See you there. My friend said that Goin Rogue is cringy, and you can guess what I said. Who cares, we're doing it anyway.
Find a Sierra and ignite.